Hey guys, this is David the Skin King from AcneErasingSecrets.com. Today in this video I'm going to talk about exercise and its relation to acne. And a question was, can exercise cause acne? Now this is going to be a very interesting video and I think you'll be very surprised and shocked at what I have to say about this. I previously made, I believe, like one video about exercise and its relation to acne, but in this video I'm going to go more in depth because I've learned something since that video, since I read a book. And I've learned a few different things, specifically the exercise in the body and the relation between those two and how that can cause more acne, on your skin. So one of the things that exercise that, America, well, maybe the whole, a lot of the world has kind of off or wrong in a sense is that aerobic exercise, jogging or running or, that kind of thing is good for you. And you're probably thinking, what? What is he talking about right now? Just let me talk about what I've learned, and then you can ask more questions in the comments below at the end of the video. But basically, when you jog, when you run long distance, when you get aerobic exercise, whether it's on the treadmill, going on a jog and running, long distance running, that kind of thing, or anything that's like that. What that actually does is it actually causes stress on your body. It causes stress on your heart, and it causes stress on your lungs. And your lungs will actually become smaller. They'll actually they'll actually kind of like shrink in a sense to become more efficient for the oxygen that you're producing to even out the run. And I learned this from reading a book called PACE. That's P-A-C-E. The book is entitled PACE. The author's name is Al Sears. So if you look up that book, well actually I'll just put it in the description below so you can click on it and buy it if you read like I do. But the book is called PACE by Al Sears. And what he talks about is how, back many years ago, how we're made to be hunters and gatherers. And what that means is, hunter is someone who hunts, and back in the day, pretend you're a hunter. There was some a deer or something, or a pig or something, and a chicken or whatever it may be. You had to chase it down and kill it, and that was your meal. That was your hunt, and what that was short bursts of sprints. Those short, get out of breath kind of things. Which what that does in your body is it creates an oxygen deficit, which actually expands your ventilatory threshold, which it just means it expands your lungs. It actually makes them bigger, which gives your body more oxygen and the ability to use more oxygen in a sense. So that's what the hunter part of it did. The gatherer part was just walking around and picking berries and walking around and picking spinach and carrots and cucumbers and zucchini and broccoli and all that kind of stuff, parsley, whatever. That's what we were made with. That's kind of what our bodies are kind of like engineered for, is to be hunters and gatherers. It's to either go on short bursts to get something and create an oxygen deficit in our body, or to just kind of walk around and gather food. So that's kind of how our bodies are engineered. And what we've done, and what is mostly because of a single person for the most part. I don't know the person's name. It was in the Al Sears book, PACE, but he said that running long distance was one of the healthiest things you could do, one of the best things for your health that you could possibly do, because it kept your heart healthy and all this kind of stuff, yada yada yada, whatever. But what happened was kind of interesting. Was the guy who said that he actually was running. Every morning like he ran, and he actually died during his run. He had I believe it was a heart attack during his morning long distance run. And I found this kind of interesting because when I started reading the book, I've heard a lot about athletes. I don't know if you guys have heard this too, but you just hear about an athlete like out of nowhere just dropping dead, and everyone's like, oh, they're athlete, they're so healthy, and why are they dropping dead? Well, the reason I believe now is that why that happens is because their heart had too much stress. And their lungs were their lungs and heart were so stressed from the aerobic strain and stress they put on their body that they had a heart attack, or they had, some type of problem with one of those two areas, and it just tumbled into kind of a heart attack, and that's how they had a heart attack and died. So now, these pro athletes and these amazing athletes that are just dropping dead when they're, in really good shape and really healthy, supposedly, actually makes a little bit more sense since I read the book. So tying this back into acne, pimples, breakouts in your skin. here's what I recommend. I recommend that you exercise, yes, but here's what I recommend. I recommend you only do specific types of exercises that don't cause stress and strain the body. That being long distance running, running on the treadmill, things that you work your heart rate up, and it's like a long distance thing. What I do recommend though is I recommend short bursts of sprints or something like that, where what that's going to do, what it actually does in your body is actually it gives you an oxygen deficit, which means it expands your lungs, and it actually improves your heart and lungs at the same time, because it fluctuates it. So it's not like a thing that causes stress and it's like gets up and it just causes stress. It goes up and then down, and then it actually expands the strength of your heart and lungs, because what it does is it goes up and then down real quick, so it gives it that jump, but then it can recover. Whereas if you're running long distance or whatever, what it actually does is it causes stress on your heart and your lungs. So I recommend that you either do short terms of kind of like sprints, or like swimming, for example, is really good as well. If you're swimming, you can just swim, and that's kind of like a sprint type thing where you're using a lot of energy and you're out of breath. Whenever you do an exercise, just be completely out of breath at the end, basically. Not completely, but just feel an oxygen deficit where you're huffing and puffing, and you're not like you're not just like and then whatever, and you're done or whatever. And that's another thing. Some of you may have heard of what's called a runner's high, whereas where you run, and at the end of that you feel like kind of like, wow, I feel really good right now. I have this quote unquote runner's high. What that actually is in your body is actually I believe it's a hormone, or something. I forget exactly the name of it, but I believe it's a hormone. And the reason you feel kind of that runner's high is because there's so much stress in your body from that run that hormone is trying to protect you from that stress. And it's like defending itself against that stress that the run did to your body. So that's what a runner's high is. It's not, it feels good to exercise. No, that's your body saying, whoa, I just had a lot of stress on my heart and on my lungs, and I need to protect myself right now. So that's what that runner's high thing is. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is like revolutionary. I cannot believe, most people don't, understand and realize this yet. So, running and in the long distance kind of, straining exercise, that's not really good for your heart and lungs. So I recommend, short distance things. Or on the other hand, I recommend walking. So I recommend either, walking or the short bursts of exercise that give you an oxygen deficit. So that's going to improve those things because you can recover quickly. But on the terms of walking, what walking does, actually walking resets your body very nicely. So walking is very healthy. And walking also moves your lymph system, your lymph nodes. It detoxes them, so it just gets them moving. And your lymph is like, it's like a sponge in your body. It's kind of like, it's hard to explain, but it's basically like a sponge in your body, and that's where a lot of toxins and things like that will get stuck, and that's how your skin will break out. That's how it can cause you to gain weight. It can cause a lot of different variety of health problems and acidity in the body, toxicity in the body. So by walking, you're actually cleansing your lymph system, and you're also moving your bloodstream, and you're giving yourself oxygen along with that. So but walking is great. Personally, I think walking is just amazing. So I highly recommend you walk. And if you do exercise, I don't really consider exercise, I don't really consider walking that much exercise. It's just kind of a walk, It's kind of normal. But if you do exercise, do sprints or swimming or things that, are high bursts of energy and give you an oxygen deficit and get you kind of like, huffing and puffing and sweating and, those kind of things. So don't do like the middle, long range, stress in your body thing. Either do walks or do short bursts of exercise. And I explained some of it in this video, but the book explains it much better. So if you're into exercise, if you're lifting weights or doing things that you just want to improve your physical shape, that's good, and I applaud you for that. But you want to do the right things that don't harm your body. The other thing too is I really don't recommend weightlifting a whole lot. That actually it just kind of messes up the muscle fibers in your body. And the best exercises that you can possibly do for gaining muscle is actually bodyweight exercises. So things like just like squats without weights, jumping jacks, push-ups, pull-ups, things like that. So bodyweight exercises are really good if you're looking to gain muscle too. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that helps you understand exercise and what's beneficial and what's not. In terms of acne too, hormones relate to exercising. By walking, that's going to help balance out your hormones, and by doing sprints and that kind of thing, it's going to balance out your hormones as well. But once again, by doing long, strainful, stressful aerobic activity, you're causing stress on your body. And what that's going to do is it's going to cause hormones to try to defend and, protect you against that, which can cause a hormonal imbalance in the body. And stress also slows the healing process in your body as well. So not only is stress going to slow the healing process of your skin, but it's going to could cause a hormonal imbalance, which will cause your skin to become worse in that way as well. So stay on one end of the scale and exercise by exercising the right way, body weight exercises, walking, sprints, swimming. And read the book Pace, because that's going to explain it much better than me. So go below. Please hit thumbs up on this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. The link to the Al Sears Pace book is in the description below, so be sure to click on that. Pick it up if you read it. I highly encourage that you read it. It's freaking awesome. It's amazing. Like, I love it. And you're going to learn a lot of exercise that it's going to blow your mind. So I highly recommend that book. And visit my website below, acneracing.com, to pick up the e-course and get rid of your acne naturally from home, like me and so many other people have already done. Subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Dave the Skin King from acneracing.com. We're clearing the acne of the world one person at a time, starting with you. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your comments, questions, thoughts, and feedback below so I can see what you think of this and help you understand it better. Pick up the book too. I highly recommend you pick up the book because it's so good. It's so worth reading. If you're into exercise health, it's a must-read book, so I highly recommend it. That's in the description below, so you can pick that up. Take care and have an awesome rest of the day. Bye.